Today we're going to react to a Sportsnet discussion about the relationship between Mitch Marner and the Leafs fan base. It's a topic that really divides people, with strong opinions on both sides. We're going to watch to better understand why this relationship has gotten so complicated. But first, subscribe to the channel and leave your like. That helps me keep bringing you more videos.
Welcome back to the program. Nick Kiprios, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Top of the hour, we're going to welcome in Steve Alliquette, usually on Tuesdays, but there was a little scheduling going on.
Thursday this week.
Sorry?
Thursday this week. Wednesday. Anyways.
What's today, Wednesday?
Thursday, bud.
What did I say?
You said...
Who's on first?
It's the late starts.
Listen, we're all hot and bothered. We haven't argued about Marner in a while. We're all hot and bothered.
I gotta say, I've been dreading that
And
since
I'm tired.
September, so it feels good to put that
It felt good.
first
All
block
right.
behind us.
I loved it.
Just wanted to mention Steve Alliquette.
Valley will be here.
That's it. And we'll talk about Joseph Wall with him, amongst other things. In the meantime, let's go to Vegas, where Joseph Wall will be staring down Mitch Marner tonight. And our very own Luke Fox will be there watching every bit of it.
Look at that backdrop.
Look at you, eh?
Cool.
You look like you just won $100 on roulette.
I heard it's a little bit snowy back home.
Oh, beat it.
Yeah, scram beat
But
it.
you know what? Tomorrow I wake up and fly to Winnipeg. So
Oh, that's
There.
karma
Good.
right there.
Good.
That's
We're
how
really
it
happy.
works.
Yeah.
So, our Luke Fox, how does it feel for you? You've covered a million of these hockey games, but tonight is Mitch Marner. It's the first one since leaving. Is there a different feel, a vibe, more media, less media? Like, what's going on that we can't see?
yeah, a couple more media than would normally turn up. But you know, it's really fallen, I think, in Marner's favor, the fact that both of his games against his former team come on the second half of a back-to-back. So the Vegas Golden Knights are doing zero media today, not even pregame. So, you know, all the questions will have to wait till after the game. But the Maple Leafs players were kind of really going out of their way to make this not a story. I don't know how good they're going to be successful they are going to be to do that. But, you know, Morgan Riley said, it's just another game, really. And Tavares was saying, we've played against former players all the time. But Marner's different, right? You know, he was supposed to be part of the group that won, 1, 2, 3 championships. Like, there was so much promise packed into him as part of the core. And his departure is kind of a signal that it didn't work. And, you know, that leaves a taste in with fans. It leaves, you know, I'm sure something Marner thinks about, even though he's downplaying it too. And, you know, you'd like to see the Leafs, to get their points because they need them, but also just to prove a point that, hey, we're a good team without you and we can beat a good team. And they also have the advantage of catching the Golden Knights tired because they played in LA last night.
Yeah, that is certainly one of the advantages they have going for them. I want to get your thoughts. Just, you're around the team all year long. And when you ask people questions about this Marner stuff, everyone's doing a PR spin thing. No one is like, let me mask off, tell you how I really feel. How do you feel Marner's absence within the group? I know he was a pretty upbeat, talkative guy around there. Is that one of the ways? Are there other ways that you feel his absence?
Yeah, he was a big voice in the room. You know, Matthews was talking about it today, about how he kept things light. He had, you know, he ran the music. He threw a lot of team parties. Like, he was a guy behind the scenes. And I think it's been an adjustment. And I think what really hurt that adjustment in the early going, like the intangibles, the stuff most of us don't see, was Scott Laughton's injury. And the vibes around this team, now that Scott Laughton is back and involved, you know, there's this new tradition they started just this morning. You know, that lots of teams will have a guy go in the middle if it's a big revenge game and lead the morning stretch. So they had Nick Waugh do that. But now what's started is a hot lap and the guys are slamming their sticks and they're hollering and chirping. There's just more energy around the group. So
Must have taken a long time. It was Nick Waugh, you said?
Yeah, well, they made Lawton do that in Philly, and then Nick Waugh did that this morning. And there's just like a joy about the team.
Yeah,
and I think they stumbled to try and figure out who was going to be that guy after Marner left. And Scott's really stepped up in that regard.
I'm just joking, by the way. Nick Watkins.
Anyone else in your mind has that potential to be a bit of a glue guy and outside of a Lawton? Like, is it basically a job or a title that's open for the grabbing?
Yeah, I mean, I think Domi a little bit like that. But there's other guys that are glue guys in different ways. Like that Jake McCabe's highly respected, but he's a serious cat, man. Like he is, he's not the biggest joker. So like he has it in different ways. But in terms of lightening the mood, Lawton's leading the charge. I think Troy Stetcher, crazy as it is, because he was a waiver pickup, has kind of really become one of the guys really quickly. He's very vocal. He's right in the mix already. So just having a bit of a different mix. I think it took them a while to find their identity on the ice, but off the ice as well. And we're really seeing the fruits of it, up until that egg they laid in Utah.
What is the sense you get from Marner's time in Vegas so far? How he's playing, how he's liking it, how his team is liking his addition?
Yeah, he's not used as much, right? Like before, you wouldn't even question that he wouldn't be on PP1, PK1, first guy over the boards anytime there's 3-on-3 overtime. So his usage is different, but he's still getting his points. I think he's around a point per game. Really fascinating that he's playing center now. He's not good at faceoffs. He never practiced them hardly ever as a Leaf. And I think he's like 38%. But he's so defensively aware. He's so smart. They had him playing defense for a while in Toronto, right? So he definitely can adapt to that. But it's just fascinating that he had this years and years in Toronto, and they never really tried him up the middle. I asked Craig Berube this morning, actually, like how seriously you consider it. He said, we had some long conversations about it last year when Matthews was hurt. Like, should we try this? And he wanted him to like, okay, but you got to get good at your faceoffs. And, I don't think he and Marner said he was up for trying center, but I didn't see him working on his faceoffs a lot. So I don't know. It's just interesting how a different coach will use a guy in different ways.
Luke, you mentioned the egg laid in Utah, and we had a pretty healthy conversation on scheduled losses. But how important is it tonight that they come back and look like the team after?
What's interesting here is noticing this contrast. While the fans are expecting boos, tension, and excitement, the players talk as if it's just another game in the season. But you can't always separate things like that. In the end, the big question is whether the Leafs will be able to show some attitude when it matters. In symbolic games like this, any mistake becomes a reason for criticism, and the pressure comes fast. But that's it. If you want to keep getting videos like this, just leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That said, see you next time.